And talking about Afghanistan, Afghan President Hamid Karzai has blamed the international community on Monday for playing a part in a huge corruption scandal at the country's biggest lender, Kabul Bank, and called for a traditional Jirga summit to review strategic ties with the United States.
Afghan President Hamid Karzai on Monday announced action against bad loans and rogue shareholders in the war-torn country's troubled Kabul Bank, which came close to collapse last year. The bank had to be taken over by the country's central bank after claims that former executives granted themselves huge loans off the books, which were used partly to buy luxury properties in Dubai. A run on the bank was only halted after government assurances and injections of public money. The International Monetary Fund, which is considering a financial assistance program for Afghanistan, recommended in the month of February this year that the bank be placed in receivership before being closed or sold. The IMF indicated that funding for Afghanistan was conditional on an agreement on resolving the Kabul Bank crisis. The United Nations meanwhile warned in March this year that international donors may have to suspend or redirect their assistance if the government failed to reach an agreement with the IMF, threatening desperately needed development programs. The crisis highlighted the parlous state of Afghanistan's financial system more than 9 years after Karzai's government replaced the Taliban regime, which ruled from 1996 until 2001 US-led invasion. Tens of billions of dollars in aid have poured into the country since the Taliban were overthrown, yet there is little to show for it, with infrastructure and basic services still minimal. Kabul Bank plays a key role in the Afghan economy by handling payrolls for government workers and security forces. A paralysis of the bank would be a huge jolt to the already shaky economy.
If, by any chance, the government of Afghanistan does not come up with a clear plan, what will be the future of Kabul Bank after 3 months and how we are going to channel the salaries of the civil servants through different mediums or through different banks, then we will be in a real problem, because Kabul Bank will not survive, according to my estimations, more than 6 months.
A US government report issued this month said that in the case of Kabul Bank, fraudulent loans were used to divert $850 million to insiders. This amount reportedly represented 94% of the bank's outstanding loans. But the country's president is in no mood to back down. Karzai in fact went on record stating that all bank shareholders have been removed and those who do not return lent funds will face criminal investigation.
I only came to know about this study about 3 months ago, and the subsequent reporting that I received from the central bank, from the Ministry of Finance, and from our own other institutions that provided us the information on who from the international community was involved and in which good or bad way, and who within the country was involved in good or bad ways. So the Afghan law will take care of it as it determines.
Karzai denounced a spectrum of wrongdoing by the bank's managers, but also warned of possible foreign corruption.
The first condition for a strategic partnership is for the United States and NATO to bring peace to Afghanistan. Peace is the first condition for that. There cannot be a strategic partnership when there is war continuing, when there is casualty among the Afghan people continuing. No.
Karzai also said that the Afghan government is moving forward with a process to formalize the country's relationship with the United States as international military forces turn more control over security to Afghan troops. Karzai said that the Afghan government is in the final stages of a proposal to the US, which he pledged will put the Afghan government in control of funding and national priorities. But he, however, gave few concrete details about planning for Kabul Bank, even though Afghanistan has agreed to break up the lender, and repeatedly said international governments and institutions bore some responsibility for the bank's failure. His comments are likely to rile diplomats in Kabul who have been at loggerheads with the Afghan government for months over the fate of the bank and have long denied any role in the collapse of a private institution.
It's time now to take a short break, but stay with us as we have lots more stored for you on the other side.